So obviously, we parted ways with Lamar Stevens, the Celtics organization did. What are your thoughts on that? Was that a difficult conversation to have with him?
Yeah, I mean, it's always a difficult conversation when guys put so much time in and you get to know them from the beginning of the year and you see him every single day. But he was good about it. And I think just the way it says how he carries himself, so the professionalism that he has, he never missed a day. And he was kind of one of the guys that, spearheaded our Stay Ready group and just constantly stayed ready. So I'm excited for him. He's excited about the opportunity, and I'm happy for him.
Joe, you guys went 32 or 44 from 2 in this one. Still able to get 49 threes up, though. It started hot from 2, still able to generate the amount of threes you want there. How did you kind of strike that balance in this one?
I thought we just took what the defense gave us. I thought we were able to execute really well. Off the top of my head, I saw maybe 5 to 8 shots that I thought we could have fought to get better, but for the most part, we took what the defense gave us, and we executed well.
And Xavier Tillman coming in that trade, what's kind of your thoughts on him and what he's going to bring to the team?
Toughness, he can pass, skilled, high IQ, obviously a good defender in pick and roll, and excited to have him, and it'll be important for him to get up to speed kind of on our defensive schemes, and I think he'll give us some versatility.
Joe, Al split this season on coming off the bench and as a starter. He split right down the middle, 21 games apiece. What has impressed you the most about how he's been able to handle that role?
This is the ultimate compliment. You know what you're getting. And when you have people in the NBA, when you have guys that you know what you're getting every single night, it's the ultimate compliment. And he's that guy. You know what you're getting every day in practice, know what you're getting in the locker room, know what you're getting on the court. And I thought his play tonight kind of inspired us. I thought he just chipped away at winning play after winning play, and it was great to see him be aggressive on the offensive end also.
Hey, you're being very aggressive, but at the same time, you're not making the other team make turnovers. Like, what do you achieve to do that? Like, being a good defense without creating turnovers, like, where does that come from? And what are you trying to achieve being, like, not a turnover creating defense, but still a very good defense?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just goes back to there's different ways to skin a cat. You can be a great defensive team in many different ways. I agree with you. Not being able to force turnovers is not something that I like, but I think we're really good in a lot of other areas. And it's a catch-22. If you try to force more turnovers, then you'll be unsolid in other situations, and you'll give up other stuff. And so at the end of the day, we're top 2 or 3 in shot selection defense, and as long as we can control the rebounding and we can control our turnovers, I think those two things kind of fit the mold and the personality of our team more than trying to force turnovers. But I do still think we play relatively aggressive at times.
Jared on the side over here.
Can I ask you about Xavier Tillman now?
Yeah.
It's after 6:45.
Yeah.
What do you think he brings to this team?
Skilled. Toughness, well coached. Obviously we paid a lot of attention to him, just because of the team that he plays for and the coach that he has. And I think his defensive versatility, he has numbers. He has really good numbers against some of the top centers in the league. And his pick and roll defense and rim protection is pretty good. So I think just gives us versatility at that position.
And he also can switch. Like, he can handle a lot of switches. He can be on high pick and roll. Like, how important is it that he's not only a tough, he's undersized center, but he can handle the different roles you put your centers in?
Yeah, I mean, it's important for our bigs to be versatile. They have to be able to, and I think that's where KP has grown kind of in our system, and I think where Al and Luke are the foundation tools to our defense is they have the ability to change matchups every possession. They have the ability to guard different guys. They can navigate off-ball communication. They can switch, and they can change their depth and pick and roll. So it's one of the most important positions in our defense is our bigs and their ability to be versatile. And so he's shown that, and we just got to continue to coach him on it and get him up to speed in our system. So I'm looking forward to it.
Joe, what was the difference in your defense between the first half and the second half?
That's a great question. I think it also, what the biggest thing was? Sadiq Bey was 4 for 5 from 3, and Johnson was 2 for 2 for 3 from 3. And so, this is the team that we talk about. There's 5 or 6 teams that are like that. You go into it and we're like, okay, Trae Young's Trae Young. Bogdanović has kicked our ass for the last 10 times we played him. We got to do a great job on those 2 guys. And so we follow the game plan, and then Johnson, Okongwu, and Bey account for over 75% of their threes. And so I don't think it was the effort. It was a little bit of the execution, but it was also a part of kind of the things that we needed to begin the game giving up. And so we made a better adjustment to continuing to do a good job on Bogdanović and Trae Young, but then we increased our pressure on those other guys to not give them the type of shots that they got.
And when you see somebody like Jason Tatum, who, like, the three-pointers that he took, you probably look back and say most of them were probably fine.
I think 2 of them I was kind of like, we could get a better one on there. But for the most part, they were good, yeah.
And so the question is, like, he was very obviously getting to the rim kind of at will. Is there a point there where you kind of encourage him, like, you know that the three-pointers are there, but you say, look, man, they don't have Capella. There's not a lot of protection there. You're big. You can get there, and you're getting there pretty easily. Why not focus on that more than some of the three-pointers that you've been taking?
I mean, I think it's easy to say that in a vacuum, and it's easy to say that after the game, because at the time you don't want to say something like that and then take away from, his ability to make those shots and the freedom, and the mindset to do so. I think it's just about taking what the defense gives you, also understanding. We were 21 for 26 from 2 in the first half. I think we got another 22 up layups or something like that, or 20 in the second half. But the game changed, not when he decided to drive the ball, but when he was facilitating also. And I think 10 straight possessions, we put the ball in his hands, pick and roll, and he just made the right read over and over again. And I think that's the most important thing, is just finding the balance of his shot selection, which I think he continues to work on. But it's his ability to affect the game in many different ways. And he did it tonight in his pick and roll ball handling, and I think he closed out some of our possessions with making the right read. And, I think he was a part of the reason I thought we passed the pill. We had 33 assists and 14 turnovers.
Final 2 questions, Jack, and then Garrett.
Joe, there have been a few games lately. I know you said you like the ones where you go down, you can fight your way back and stuff like that. This one, you managed to take down a Hawks team that have been pretty hot lately, especially on offense, and a guy in Trae Young who's been hot lately. You've been preaching mentality all season. At a time of year where some players, or the natural reaction is All-Star breaks right there, coming down to it.
I swear you guys talk players into that more than it actually is.
Well,
not you personally, but just like that's the narrative. Yeah. It's All-Star break.
Well, what's impressed you most about this team's ability to have that day-to-day mindset you talked a lot about, and you've always said, the healthiest relationship you can have with success is knowing you can get better. What areas have you noticed that they could also still get better?
Yes, I've noticed that. I mean, I definitely think we haven't been great all the time. Obviously last couple games we didn't play our best basketball, but I do think we've continued to keep an open mind to getting better. And the type of practices that we've been able to have, I think the last 2 or 3 practices that we had, there was 1 at Miami and there was 2 here. Just the approach that we had towards the details and the technique and the things that we were trying to work on. And I also appreciate in the relationship that we have with winning and losing is very important. And so as long as we can continue to be really hard on ourselves internally about the things that matter and the details and push ourselves, not get too either way on a win or a loss, but come in the next day and work. I think that's the healthiest relationship we can have, and I've seen the guys really work to approach it that way.
Last question, Garrett.
Joe, you guys lost the free throw battle and the rebounding battle. Some of the margins you like, but you guys were able to obviously stop them defensively. Are you pleased with how you guys are responding to some of the adversity? Jason's didn't get a lot of calls tonight, and you guys seem to kind of grind this one out as opposed to letting them. I mean, they scored 144 points. We talked about the last game, and shutting them down and kind of using other ways to win.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the way we played the game tonight was kind of how I would like our approach to be. Is we were down 2 at the first quarter, but we didn't really show whether or not we were winning or losing, right? And then we win the second one by 6, and then we get a 23-point quarter coming out in the third, which nobody wants to talk about the third quarter since we had a good one. 23-point quarter, nobody? All right, we'll just wait till the next bad one. But I think just the approach that we had throughout the entire game is we never wished for it to be over. We never wished for things to be a little bit easier. We never just we just played the game and continued to chip away at it. And I think that's the space that we have to live in.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.